All right, there, boxing fans. CMD Boxing Report here. Ronell Higg reporting. All right, so we all know that we got this fight coming up next week. Not next week, actually this week, Saturday, the big fight with Mikey Garcia and Adrien the Problem Broner. Okay, so going into this fight here. All right, Adrien Broner, as we all know, he's not given a chance, not one chance, okay, in this fight. All right, a lot of the media is going against this guy, but hey, that's all that's all Adrien Broner's fault, just because the way he carries himself, the way he conducts himself, inside the ring and outside the ring. So, excuse me, guys. The way he acts, he doesn't keep a strict diet. He comes in overweight. He can never makes weight. But they also are against him because, his last two fights, I'm talking about with top elite fighters, Marcos Maidana and Sean Porter, he came up short in those two fights. However, Mikey Garcia is coming up in weight, all right? Adrien Broner, he went up in weight to fight these guys, okay, at 147. And as we all seen, 147 is not his division, all right? Now, looking at this fight here, the way I looks at it, to me, has Mikey Garcia ever took on someone as strong as Adrien Broner? I understand he got dropped. That's Mikey Garcia there. He had got put down by, who was it? Roman Martinez in the second round. But hey, he did get back up and rally back to a victory. All right. But this time he's taking on someone who's much bigger than him. Okay. Adrien Broner, he did fight at 147, although he wasn't successful there, but he still reached the 147 limit. And for Mikey Garcia, he's coming up to fight at 140. This is his first time, so he could end up being just like Adrien Broner. He could be good at 130, 135, but not good at 140. Now this right here is yet to be seen. Now, like I said, they're judging Adrien Broner is because of his weights. All right, he's something like the Allen Iverson of boxing, like AI. He didn't like to practice, okay? And Adrien Broner, he don't likes to stick to the game. Like I said before, stick to a diet. He be coming up in weight, in between fights and whatnot, and struggling to get back down, all right, to his fighting weight and whatnot, and all the partying and stuff he be doing. So some people looks at this as a cash out for Adrien Broner. Some were saying that Al Haymon is setting him up for failure. Once he loses this fight, Al Haymon is done with him. Mikey Garcia would take his place, but Mikey Garcia, he's talking about once he fights Adrien Broner and he gets the victory, he's going back down to 135. Now that's also yet to be seen. It looks to me that Mikey Garcia, he really does fear the junior welterweight division. You got Terrence Bud Crawford, now Julius, and Ndongo, but he'll move up and take on Adrien Broner with no problem. But like I said, that's yet to be seen if he'll drop back down. Right now, this is all hype and talk. Now, I was reading yesterday that Adrien Broner is walking around at 144 pounds. And if he don't make weight, he'll end up owing $500,000. Now, some people were shocked that he agreed to this contract, but they also put it out there that in this fight here, Adrien Broner is not the A side, okay? So he had no other choice. So now it's all odds against him. Adrien Broner, he's coming out talking. He's like, man, look, I'm taking this fight here serious, okay? He knows he's not the A side in this fight. And they're talking about, him losing this, that, and the third. I mean, they are really giving this dude no chance in hell. I mean, it's like Adrien Broner is coming into this fight without 2 arms or 2 legs, okay? I mean, he really has no chance to win this fight. But like I said, we'll see how Mikey Garcia reacts to Adrien Broner's attacks, his body attacks, his punches, period, okay, at 140. To me, this is the strongest man that Mikey Garcia has taken on, or will be taking on. Now, I'm also seeing like a lots of nervous energy coming from Mikey Garcia. He's always talking about how his brother had trained Marcos Maidana, and that his brother knows the blueprint. His brother, Robert Garcia, he knows the blueprint on beating Adrien Broner. All right, it's all out there that Adrien Broner, he's not good with pressure fighters, which is true. Okay, he cannot take pressure. Now, as we all knows, that Mikey Garcia is not a pressure fighter. He's a patient fighter. Okay, he starts out very patient, and now doing that can play against him because sorry, I'm getting text here. Because Adrien Broner, he can move in and do his things, land some combinations to the body and head. Okay, and that right there could, really take away from Mikey Garcia in the long run. Remember, he is moving up. So now, talking about his fight with Porter and all, and the other guy, Marcos Maidana. Now, I should say with Porter first. I mean, Porter was able to bully Adrien Broner around in that fight. He was all up on him, putting on pressure. I mean, between the two, Adrien Broner and Sean Porter, Porter is the way bigger man than Adrien Broner. I mean, let's not forget he did fight at 168. Okay, so he's the natural bigger man in this fight, or in that fight between them two. All right, so I don't care about Adrien Broner's jab and whatnot. It wasn't effective, not against Sean Porter, and it definitely wasn't effective against Marcos Maidana. Now in this fight here, okay, Mikey Garcia is talking about he's going to be aggressive as well. All right, but like I said, that's not his fight. That's not who Mikey Garcia is. All right, he's not an aggressive fighter. He's a patient fighter. And now with him trying to come in aggressive, that can play against him in this fight as well. Meaning that Adrien Broner could counter on this dude, all right, and end up knocking him down or possibly knocking him out. Now, my predictions for this fight, who will win? Well, it depends who shows up. If a disciplined Adrien Broner, shows up in this fight, well, hey, I will give the fight to Adrien Broner. Okay, like he said, he's going to be very disciplined here. All right, now this is what he's saying. Adrien Broner said a lot. I remember when he said he wanted to fight Amir Khan, and Amir Khan was like, "Man, this dude don't want to fight me," and he was right, because he sure did not get that fight with Amir Khan. Now here he is showing his muscles and whatnot, showing how big he is, showing off his weight. Yeah, smiling for the camera and all. Here they are here. Man, he looks pretty big here in this picture. Mikey Garcia, he looks great. Well, Adrien Broner, he looks pretty big. Now we're going to take a look at Mikey Garcia's boxing rep. All right, now, one thing I don't like is this fight here. All right, this number here is wrong, because they have his last opponent, coming in at 22-0, and when you watch the fight, the guy was coming in at 18-0. So boxing rec, they got their numbers wrong. But I don't know. Come to look at it, Mikey Garcia took on some pretty good opponents. Here you got one guy 40, and 11 losses, 35 and 16 losses. That was all back in 2013. But his recent fight. But let's see who this guy here had took on for Mikey Garcia. All right, he took on an undefeated fighter. Oh no, that's Mikey Garcia he took on. All right, yeah, he took on an undefeated fight, 18-0. But then he got a guy that's like 10 wins and 18 losses. And that's about it. I mean, can't say he was much of a douchebag. I'm just, paraphrasing, like seeing, if not like paraphrasing, like comparing his opponents. Like if Mikey Garcia is the real deal, like is he really taking on, elite boxers, up and coming, elite boxers, or hyped up tomato cans, But from the way it looks, his last opponent was pretty solid. And I remember that fight, he knocked dude out. All right, and that was what? He knocked my man's. Now, don't say what round, forget what round it was in. But that was a hard knockout. I believe that was a second round knockout. Or probably more. I forget. It was, a little while ago. Actually, it was this year. It was back in January. But hey, that's what happens, when you work a lot. You can't keep up with everything. But yeah, man, Mikey Garcia, all right, his last 6 so opponents, yeah, he had a lot of knockouts. He had 1, 2, 3, no, he got 2, yeah. It's like, yeah, his last opponents, yeah, all knockouts except for Adrien Broner, and that was a unanimous decision. But coming up in this fight here, I really, I'm not really paying attention to what the media says. Like, it depends who shows up in this fight. Put it like that. Okay. Now, if a disciplined Adrien Broner comes in, like I said, if he talks about, he's going to stick to his game and he's going to, use his jab, he's going to box. Okay. He's going to stick and move like he did back in the day, or like he did with John Molina. Okay. I give that fight to Adrien Broner. Now, let's not forget, Mikey Garcia is talking about coming in this fight being aggressive. And look, what worked for Sean Porter and Marcos Maidana may not work for Mikey Garcia. Okay, now, this right here is yet to be seen. All right, now if he come in off his game being a different man, once again I gives it to Adrien Broner. But if he comes in being that patient Mikey Garcia, which could play against him as well too, but hey, I'll give the fight to Mikey Garcia because Adrien Broner might not be disciplined. Like I said, I heard he is. He still had to get down and weight. He's still at 144. But I read that yesterday, and that post was, kind of old. I think that post came out like last Thursday or so. So who knows? I mean, he could already be down. But damn, he just looked kind of big here. Like, this picture was taken 2 days ago. So who knows? Maybe it's the beard that makes him look that big. And them big ass glasses sure makes his face look fat. And then again, it just could be where I got my computer hooked up. You know what I mean? They look all short. But now, compared to this guy, neither one of them looks like that. So, I could be right. He is overweight. All right, here he is here. All right, he don't have no stomach there. But I'm giving Adrien Broner a chance in this fight. Okay, I'm not really going to go up against him, but I really don't know who's going to show up in this fight. And this right here, I just have to sit back and see for myself. All right. So, by the way, man, I need a new microphone. Like this one here is done. All right, all this money I paid for it. I had mostly all my microphones that fell in on me. The one for my cell phone. Matter of fact, that one still works. but I had a snowball. That one still works, but this one here I likes because I get to, use these are headsets, and I get to hear myself, talk, and I really got used to it and everything. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a better microphone. I'll probably go with the Rode, So, hey, that's my thoughts on this fight. This is CMD Boxing Reports. Ronell Higg reporting. I'll see you guys on the next one.